Hi, Miss Keelan here. I have our Faces of Easter cards here with us and another story to go with it to help us through our Lenten journey together. The baby was born, a wordless child, to Mary, the Mother of God. And God chose Mary to be the Mother of God, and the Word was born. And when the baby looked up in the face of the Mother Mary, the baby saw a cross. And when the baby looked in the face of the father Joseph, the cross was there too. They gave the baby everything it needed to grow, and the baby did grow. One day, the baby had grown into a boy. And when he was about 12 years old, Mary and Joseph and Jesus went from Nazareth into Jerusalem to celebrate one of the very special holidays. And at the end of the celebrations, when they were returning home to Nazareth, Mary and Joseph noticed that Jesus was not with them. They looked all over to see if he was playing with some of the kids from other villages, but he was not there. They checked in the marketplace to see if maybe he had gotten something to eat, but he was not there. They looked everywhere and decided to spend the night. Finally, they went to the temple, and there he was. He was talking to the rabbis, the priests. They were listening to him, and he was listening to them. And they had to ask him, "Why did you do this?" And he said, "Did you not know that I would be in my Father's house?" Well, Mary and Joseph did not know what that meant. They did not understand, but they did not forget. Jesus grew to become a man. And when he was about 30 years old, he went to the River Jordan, where his cousin John was baptizing people. Do you see John? That's the back of his head. He was a wild man. Jesus waded into the river until he was face to face with John. John looked at Jesus as if it were for the first time. And he saw who he was, and he said, "How can I baptize you? You are the Messiah, the one we have been waiting for. You must baptize me." "No, it is written that you will come before me and prepare the way. Baptize me." Jesus went down into the darkness and the chaos of the water. And when John lifted him back up, there were people there who said they saw a dove come from heaven and come so close to him. There were also people there. They heard a voice, and the voice said, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased." And after Jesus was baptized, he went from the River Jordan into the desert, and he stayed there for 40 days and 40 nights to think about who he was and what his work was going to be. Our next story is also about someone who traveled. It is about someone named St. Patrick. And as you may know, we celebrate St. Patrick on March 17th every year. And this is his story. St. Patrick grew up in the northwest corner of England. And one day, he heard a sound that was a very disturbing sound to him. It was the sound of Irish ships coming to shore. And when he heard that sound, he knew people were coming for him, because these ships would come and the people on the ships would steal children. And he was taken to Ireland, and he was bought by someone who took care of sheep, and he became a shepherd himself. The person who bought St. Patrick was a kind person, and Patrick very much enjoyed taking care of sheep. But one day he decided that it was time to return to England. So he ran away from the sheep. He followed the scent of salty ocean air all the way to the coast, where he saw big ships headed straight for England. And on these ships were Irish dogs. However, the Irish dogs did not want to go on the ships. But Patrick knew how to talk to the dogs and get them on the ship. And because he could do that, the sailors let him on, and he sailed back to England. And when he got there, he decided that he wanted to learn how to read and how to go back to school, and he really wanted to learn. So he did. He was the tallest and the oldest by far in his class, but he did not care what anyone said about him. Then he became a priest. And after becoming a priest, he felt it was time for him to go to Ireland. He knew they needed help. There were people in Ireland who weren't so kind to Christian people. So St. Patrick knew it was time for him to go back and help them. And when he was there, his heart was very heavy, and he went to the top of a very big hill. And you can still go to this hill too. And he prayed for all of the people of Ireland. And that is not all he did. People asked him lots of questions. And one of those questions, people wanted to understand what the Trinity was. Patrick smiled, and with a little twinkle in his eye, he said, "It is just like the shamrock. There are 3 parts on one flower. The Creator, the Redeemer, and the Sustainer." And we remember Patrick because he traveled for God. Now I wonder which part of the St. Patrick story you liked best.
I like the part where he saved the Irish people.
Where he went back and he saved the Irish people.
I like the story of God and Jesus.
This story? I wonder if these stories have any connections, if you see anything similar between these 2 stories.
They're both saving something.
Oh, they're both saving something.
They both didn't put themselves higher than everybody else. Like Jesus didn't say, "Since I'm the Messiah, I have to baptize everybody."
Mm-hmm.
And Patrick didn't say, like, "Now I can call on God to make you all bow to me because I'm a saint." And they both were close to God.
They were both close to God. So in your own wonderings this week, just think about these 2 stories that you heard. And then I wonder if you have a work around your house that you can choose. It could be painting. You might have Play-Doh. Maybe you even have Legos or other little toys that remind you of these stories. Just wonder what you can find at your house to remind you of the story of Jesus and the story of St. Patrick. Until next week, bye-bye.